you everybody for tuning into the Jack Vale Show with Madysyn. We're really sorry. A number of things have kind of gotten in the way of this. So if you're a regular listener, sorry for the
ghosting.
And also some of it has been my fault and some of it has been Maddie's fault.
Yeah, that's true. Schedules have not been aligning.
No, and you got your wisdom teeth taken out.
Yeah, I got my wisdom teeth out, and that was the worst week of my life. And it took like 2 weeks to fully recover, to be honest.
You got all 4 of them out at the same time.
Yeah.
That's major.
The doctor was like, you'll be back to work in 3 days. And I took the week off. Yeah. It was horrible.
You had to. It was terrible.
Yeah.
So talk about what that was like. What happened
literally,
to you?
I looked in the mirror. I told Dad and everyone, I was like, I look like Quagmire from Family Guy. It was horrible. My face was like, that was like the first time I've looked in the mirror and been like, just completely embarrassed. I just did not like that at all. I didn't feel like myself. And I just stopped looking in the mirror.
So even if you could have gone back to work, you would have called in still.
I would not have at all. I can't eat anything. I was in constant pain. I was vomiting because of the medicine they gave me. It was horrible.
Because the people who would have gone into your work, even though you felt like working, but you didn't look the part, would have been like, you know, this girl helped me and she looked like Quagmire from Family Guy. You don't want that reputation.
Nice and all, but man, hard to look at.
Yeah. The day you came home, when you pulled in the driveway, was so funny. Because the videos go crazy on YouTube. All these videos of people coming out of anesthesia and they get all, for the next couple of hours, they're all, especially that first hour on the drive home. And when you pulled up into the driveway, I bet you still don't remember everything that happened that day.
I don't, yeah.
Well,
it's spotty.
One thing that you did was you wanted to skip. I know you know this because I told you about it. Do you remember that happening or only the story of me telling you?
Barely. I remember you telling me this story.
You got out of the car and you started acting really, really weird. And I got it on video because I wanted to get you pulling in on video so I could see what your initial reaction was. And you were like trying to tell me something and I couldn't quite understand it. I'm like, why are you doing this? You were moving in some weird, funky way. And I was like, what, and then you typed it. So you could type. So cognitively, you were able to type out the words, I want to skip. And I said, you want to skip? Why do you want to skip? And he said, oh. And you wrote down because it's fun. And then sure enough, you started skipping into the house. I'm like, you better not do that. Because you looked very lopsided and very like you were going to fall over. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
And very emotional. You were very emotional.
Yeah, I know. I knew I was going to do that.
Do you remember that friend of yours from work?
What?
Texted you and said, I'm thinking of you or something?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that? Do you remember what you did?
No, I remember because he told me.
Just only because I told you? I'm going to tell the listeners. So you get very emotional when you're coming off of anesthesia. And you still have it in your system and stuff. So she was very emotional and she looked at her phone. She got notified that her friend from work had said, I'm thinking of you. That's all she said. I'm thinking about you because she knew you were getting your wisdom teeth out.
Yeah.
And you looked at it and you looked at me and you're like, you pointed to the phone and I'm like, what is it? What is it? And I looked and I saw your friend and what she said, I'm thinking of you at work. That's all it was, I'm thinking about you. And you're like, and I said, I
crying.
know. Isn't that sweet, Maddie? And you were like nodding your head. Very, very fun. Anyway, but it's healed up.
Yeah.
You're all good. Did you bruise or only swell?
Both. Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah. But once we got to the bottom of it, you're in good shape.
Yeah.
So do you eat normal and everything now?
Yeah, everything's the same, but food be getting stuck in there sometimes. You got to dig it out with your tongue, you're like trying to get it out.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's annoying.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's also good, though, if you like snacks for later.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about this. Scoop. Scoop it out.
Scoop. Gross.
I know. We decided that from now on, we're going to talk about things that matter.
Yes.
We're kind of all over the place sometimes. And I think in the last one or one of the last ones that we did, we talked about some of the crazy stories in the news, but I enjoyed it so much, I decided in every single episode, we should do a couple of those every single time. So it's a regular part of the format.
Okay.
And talk about some really cool stories. So we're going to start talking about, yes,
life.
and I sent you a list. You can click on these if you want.
Are they in order?
If you want. Yes, they're in order of the way I'm going to click on it.
Let's go.
In Bullhead, Arizona, Bullhead City, Arizona. Listen to the headline. Woman sues over ban on feeding homeless people in parks. So here's what happened.
Okay.
A woman who was arrested for feeding homeless people in Northwest Arizona is suing over a local ordinance that regulates food sharing events in public parks.
What?
Norma Thornton, 78, 78, became the first person arrested under the Bullhead City's ordinance in March for distributing prepared food from a van at Bullhead Community Park. Her lawyer said that the lawsuit filed Tuesday as part of a nationwide effort to let people feed those in need. So apparently Bullhead, Arizona has this thing that prohibits people now from feeding the homeless in certain parks or something.
What in the world?
Yeah.
For what? What is their reason behind that?
The same reason you don't put out a thing of milk for the cats in the neighborhood.
I do that.
You do that? And then they come back, don't they? They keep coming back, don't they?
That's mean.
I know, it's a terrible way to think of it. But that was what was in mind. Is they're like, if you keep doing this, it's going to make the problem worse.
What?
Yeah, listen.
Make the problem worse? Feeding the homeless?
Well, okay. Your position is exactly how this lady felt, and that's why
She's a queen.
she's a queen.
Mm-hmm.
It says, let me see, criminal charges against Thornton were eventually dropped, okay? But she is seeking an injunction to stop the city from enforcing the ordinance that took effect in May 2021. So it started in May of 21. Bullhead City has criminalized kindness, Thornton's attorney said. The city council passed an ordinance that makes it a crime punishable by 4 months imprisonment to share food in public parks for charitable purposes. Yeah, I don't know how you could do that. How in the world?
That is the just meanest law ever.
It is. But I think the thinking behind it is homelessness maybe is becoming a problem in that area, and they're trying to figure out a way to fix the problem.
How about house and feed them? Mm-hmm. State or city, whoever it is. Mm-hmm. Is it a city law or a state law?
City.
A city law.
Specifically Bullhead City.
Yeah, how about take care of your people?
Yeah, I agree.
That's horrible.
Yeah, they should make you the mayor of that city. But then you'd have to move there, and
you
wouldn't want that.
Arizona, is that where it was?
Yeah, that was in
thanks.
That was in Arizona. Now you wouldn't want to go to Arizona because of that. I do have some good news for you on another topic.
Other reasons.
They just did a study, and bumblebees can play.
Oh.
I knew you'd like this story. The headline is, if bumblebees can play, does it mean they have feelings? This study suggests yes.
Oh my gosh.
Is that the coolest thing ever?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I was a kid, I was afraid of bees. Mm-hmm. All kids are. You don't want to get stung. Mm-hmm. And the older I get, I'm telling you, when we moved out to Tennessee, now we see these gigantic bees that we never saw in California before. Yeah. And they're like the size of my big toe, or
those
at
like
least my
carpenter
thumb.
bees.
Yeah, and it's so much fun to watch them because they're like they bump into each other, and they're like, it totally makes sense now looking at this, going, oh yeah, I can see that. I think I've witnessed them playing before.
Yeah.
When put to the test, bees have proved over and over again that they've got a lot more to offer than pollinating, making honey, and being fiercely loyal to a queen. The industrious insects can count and alter their behavior when things seem difficult. And now, scientists say there's proof they also like to play. When given the chance, they like to fool around with toys. That's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh.
That's really cool. Now you'll think of bees differently. Every time
that.
you see them, you'll watch them play.
But you know what? Like, what if flies play? No one would care.
Oh, you're right.
They'd still kill them.
Oh, yeah, you stop. Wait, stop. They're playing. I know, but there's 10 of them. Look. They're disgusting.
That's actually pretty privileged for sure.
Pretty what now?
Pretty privileged.
What do you mean?
Like, like bees are like, oh, cute. Like little bees are playing, but flies, you would just kill them. That's pretty privilege.
Oh, is this a new thing? Privilege?
What a new thing.
Is this like fly privilege? No, bee privilege.
Bee
It would be
privilege,
bee
yeah.
privilege.
Well, it'd be pretty privilege because they're prettier than flies. They're cute.
Pretty. Oh, you said pretty privilege.
Yes.
Okay, I think you meant like that's pretty privilege. But no, there's an actual. So it's pretty privilege.
Yeah.
Do you get pretty privilege sometimes?
Sometimes.
Are you?
To be honest.
Are you pretty privileged? Okay, owls. Owls, on the other hand.
Oh, wait, what?
An owl twice attacked a Washington woman. This owl must have really been pissed off for her to get attacked twice. A biologist says it's becoming more common.
Oh, no.
Who would have thought?
I love owls.
I love owls too. But look at the picture of her face. Yeah, this lady's face is bleeding and stuff.
He really got her.
Kirsten Madysyn was walking alone in the woods by her Hansville,
First of all,
Washington. Okay.
That's the first issue. Why are you a woman walking alone in the woods? That's so scary. Okay, continue.
So many news stories involve a woman jogging now. Have you noticed this?
No.
Every morning it seems like.
Really?
You turn on the news, it's like some other woman got attacked by something or kidnapped or all this stuff. Like
ladies,
walking.
keep your pepper spray on you. Keep your owl repellent.
Exactly. There was no warning, she said. She was attacked by this owl. Her attacker was fast and silent, but left its mark.
Oh my gosh.
She said, it felt like getting punched in the back of the head by someone wearing rings.
Oh.
Ooh, someone wearing rings.
No,
Ooh,
thanks.
wow. The attack was unprompted. She was just walking as she always does. In fact, she had seen this owl before, but there was never any problem. Could you imagine?
This is why sometimes I'm like, like, this makes me think about reincarnation. Because what if her, like,
what if that was it?
she used to like bully a kid back in like school or whatever, and now he's back as an owl, and he's like,
I bet it had something to do with her hairstyle. The owl
kidding.
felt, like, what's the word?
like it was a predator.
Yeah, the owl felt like, what was her hairstyle like at the time of the attack? You know what I mean?
Maybe it was in a
like, what if
pony.
it thought it was another bird?
I've never even seen an owl attack anything.
I haven't either. I thought they just stay perched up there and just flip their head
Just
around
look
like
cute.
this and look adorable. Yeah. You'd never have any idea. Oh, look at this picture of this beautiful owl.
Yeah,
They just
that's
sit there. They're so
very
great.
pretty.
They're just gorgeous, right? These things.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen an owl with no feathers?
No.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
'Cause
Show
it's
me
hilarious.
this. Okay. Yeah, I want to see this.
Owl with no feathers. They look nothing like how I expected them to look.
I will say, I'm not trying to make light of it, but the lady posted a picture of her scalp.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't look that bad. I mean, yes, it's bleeding, but I mean, there's a couple of little scratches there.
Yeah, looks bad to me though.
I just think it would be that would be the greatest story to be able to tell people. That would far
owl attacked me.
outweigh the actual attack itself. The pain that it would cause and all that kind of stuff.
The story?
The fact that you could say, hey, listen, I was attacked by an owl in the back of my head. Pause. Wait, what? Yeah, twice. Twice.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, it happened twice. Well, I can't find the funny picture that I saw last time. This is more just like, it makes sense because it's like the skeleton of the owl.
Look at this lady.
But
oh, sorry.
They just
Go
have
ahead.
so many feathers, and they're actually really like tiny and skinny.
What? Give me this.
They're like tiny little things. It's just they look big because they're feathers.
That's a skeleton. You're showing me a skeleton.
I know. That's not the one I was looking for. I know that's the skeleton.
well, then why did you show it to me?
Because I can't find the one I was looking for.
Look how skinny people actually are?
Shows a skeleton, a human skeleton.
That wouldn't make any sense.
Oh my gosh.
Look at this Look at this girl who got attacked.
Ah.
Not
nice.
She.
Looks like a nice person.
You have no idea if she's nice. She just posted a picture smiling. Mean people can do that. Maybe she antagonized the owl. Maybe she was going, ooh, 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 ooh. And the owl didn't like that.
Well, I can't find this owl that I was looking for. I saw it a long time ago.
I'll take your word for it
But
if you
it was
want.
kind of adorable.
A 2,560-pound Minnesota pumpkin was crowned the winner at this year's Way Off.
Wow.
I'm not going to read this story because there's really not that much to read. You know what it is. It's a pumpkin that weighed
25.
over a ton.
Oh my gosh.
Do you see the picture of this thing? It's very lopsided, very misshapen.
They should use this one as a boat.
Oh yeah, it would be perfect. They got to do something with it because it's not the fatter something gets. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but the more disproportioned it is. Do you know what I mean? There's no such thing as a 2,500 perfectly round, beautiful orange pumpkin.
Yeah.
You know? It's always like,
discolored,
the
it's
bigger it's
lumpy.
getting, now it's growing this way, starting to do this. I've known a lot of people the same way. Let me.
What is this?
What
is this?
What's
America's next top mullet will soon be crowned. What?
Oh, you're getting ahead.
I'm just on the next one. You didn't really want to talk about that pumpkin, so I
No,
moved
you're right.
on.
You're right.
Major
let's read this. So
competition is underway for the ultimate prize.
it's not the Major League Baseball playoffs. It's the USA Mullet Championships.
Is this the guy that won though? Because that mullet's not that great, to be honest.
You don't think so?
Was he the winner?
I don't know if he says age is 34. The mullet age is 4.5 years. Wait, 4.5 years? Why would it take so long to grow a mullet? His hair's not that long.
Yeah, I have no idea. The people who voted on this must have been like old women.
The mullet has a name, Madysyn. It's
Oh my
called
gosh.
the Lord's Drapes.
What?
That's what it says.
Mullet named the Lord's
Scott
Drapes.
Salvador is apparently the winner of this thing.
Oh my god.
And you can check it out at mulletchamp.com.
How many people were in the running for this? This
I
guy's
don't know,
mullet
but-
is better than the winners. Wisconsin Waterfall?
Should I do a mullet?
Well,
Would it be
this
fun?
one's really bad.
Wouldn't it be fun to do a mullet? Oh, look at that.
Wait,
Ooh.
didn't you used to have a
Wait, he's
mullet?
got a great mustache.
Look at this.
Well, it's unique, I would say. It's unique. Wait, let me see that mullet again.
Didn't you used to, which one?
Did you say, did I used to have a mullet?
I feel like you did. Like when you were younger. I could have sworn I saw a picture.
No, I used to have a perm.
A perm?
Yeah, I had a perm for a little while.
Oh.
And so it made the back of my hair like curly kind of. And I think you're right. It technically, I guess.
It was, I
Yeah, but
thought.
it was a little fuller on top. I didn't try to make it a mullet.
Oh, okay.
It was more like, you know how they say business in the front, party in the back? Yeah. It was more like somewhere in the middle. It was just kind of all mixed up together.
Oh. If you have straight hair,
Mm-hmm.
don't have a mullet. And that is my hot take. of the
Really?
day. Yeah.
Why?
You gotta have curly hair if you want a mullet, at least wavy. But if it's like pin straight and you have
Yeah.
a mullet,
Yeah.
it just kind of looks like, I don't know, like a Yorkie or something.
Really?
Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan.
I didn't realize how many pictures of mullets
Yeah,
there
there's-
are. So there's
there
all
are
these
many.
different styles and stuff.
There-
There's people with shaved on the sides.
Yeah,
all
and also
kinds of
if you
stuff.
want a mullet, don't do the shaved on the sides. Don't do that either. None of these people are really pulling them off, in my opinion, except for the curly hair one.
Well,
That
let's
one's not too
revisit
bad.
this in the future, and you tell me what you think the perfect mullet is if you were to get one, because I'm really thinking about
If
doing
I were
one.
to go, I could get a mullet.
Okay, here's the problem. Have you ever seen, I'm looking at all these pictures, and I only
Mm-hmm.
see mullets. Everybody in these pictures have facial hair. Nope, one guy doesn't. The guy at the very end doesn't. Museo B. Chavez. He does not.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't.
But the rest of them do. But now that I think about it, most people that grow mullets, they do have facial hair.
Yeah,
They got some
that's
kind of a
true.
goatee or
stash
something.
or
Mhm,
something.
something. I couldn't do that. Mine would
could.
be baby face. I'd have to. No choice. Last one is, do you know about this?
Oh no.
Yeah, you know about this Sherry Papini?
No, I don't.
You don't?
I know
You
nothing
just-
about
You
it.
just think her last name's funny, probably. Sherry Papini.
She also looks pretty defeated in this picture.
Oh, she is. She's definitely defeated. I just thought you might know about her. So this has been going on for, I don't know, a couple years or something like that. But she
Okay.
finally, this is what she did, just so you know. I'm going to tell you what she did. Sacramento,
Okay.
California. This is the
Okay.
article.
Let's
A
go.
Northern California mother of two was sentenced Monday to 18 months in prison This is an old article, by the way. This is from like a month ago, but I just wanted to talk about it.
Okay.
For faking her own kidnapping so she could go back to a former boyfriend, which led to a 3-week multi-state search before she resurfaced on Thanksgiving Day in 2016. Sherry Papini, 40, pleaded guilty last spring to staging the abduction and lying to the FBI about it. As part of a plea bargain, she's required to pay more than $300,000 in restitution.
Girl, was it worth it?
I don't know.
Did she get him back?
Obviously, something went awry. Like something happened.
Well, you can't kidnap yourself and then get a search party to go looking for you.
I know. Probation officers and Papini's attorneys had recommended that she spend a month in custody and 7 months in supervised home detention, while prosecutors wanted her to serve the 8 months behind bars. Okay. Her story was like 2 Hispanic women abducted her.
Girl.
That was her story. Why do you think so it wasn't the stereotypical story that you would expect to hear in something like this.
Yeah.
2 Hispanic women kidnapped her, and then she goes into this whole thing about how she was treated and everything.
What?
Yeah.
Like she went into an actual, like, maybe she's a pathological liar. Maybe also she's schizophrenic. Because there seems like there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, it could be, but also I just think, if you're gonna do something like that, then the first thing you want to do is come up with a story nobody's ever said before, so that it's so unbelievable that it's believable. So that's why they believed her in the very, very beginning. 2 Hispanic women. This is weird,
right? Yeah,
because that's never been done,
right?
I don't think. maybe 2 Hispanic women have kidnapped some woman and held her hostage. I don't know. I've never heard of it before.
Yeah.
But she's got 2 kids.
Oh, she has 2 kids?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's got 2 kids, loving husband, Maddie.
She has a husband?
Yeah, you should have seen him. I remember a few years back when she was missing, he was on the news crying, going, I just want her back. And then to find out that the love of his life was actually hiding out with her former boyfriend.
Oh, wait. So okay, because my impression of this story was I thought she was faking her own kidnapping so that her ex-boyfriend would like look for her and like be worried about her and like want her.
No, she
back.
just wanted to be with her ex-boyfriend.
And he wanted to be with her, so they like ran away together?
Yes.
Oh.
Is that amazing?
Oh my gosh, that's so terrible.
It is so terrible. Those poor kids.
Was she like just recently found with him?
She was found a while back. She had to plead
why
guilty
did they
and all this
just
kind of stuff.
release this in 2022? This happened in
because
2016.
of the sentencing. It got drug on for a while, and you get convicted, and then you get
crazy
sentenced, and then there's all these months. I know.
Yeah. Years later.
I know. It's incredible.
Oh my gosh, girl, have some respect for yourself.
Yeah, I know.
And for your family. Oh my gosh.
That's it for the crazy, weird news stories. We'll try to, in the future, I think, stick to like maybe 2 or 3 of them.
Okay.
Keep them pretty light for the most part. So I got to tell you something. Okay. I know I told you before we started the podcast today that we were going to talk about child predators.
Yeah.
And you were not really having that. You didn't really want to do it.
No.
Okay. But I'm going to be more specific, and then maybe it'll kind of make sense. There's something that has been just blowing my mind recently.
Okay.
And also Chris's.
Okay.
Your brother. So Chris has come to me not that long ago with stories, YouTube videos about these YouTubers who are now have full-time YouTube careers busting people.
Predators,
And they stage the whole thing. They get ready
catfish them.
Yes, they catfish them. Yes. So now you watch this video, and I mean, some of these videos are 30 minutes, an hour long, and you see the text messages between the fake kid, right, which is them, and this guy. And apparently there's all these creepy guys who are on the other end of this, who are subscribed to these apps. They have these apps on their phone like Grindr and all these apps, right? And they are communicating with kids. Now, You got to be an adult apparently to get on these apps or whatever. But it doesn't matter because the minute they find out that, oh, I'm 12, I'm 13, I'm not kidding. Literally, that's how young they pose themselves as. Okay. It's been younger than that.
I've seen people interested in 6-year-olds.
Oh my goodness.
That's young and everything in between.
Ugh. It just like makes me want to vomit.
It's disgusting. Now, I want to talk about this because I'm going to mention a couple. And Chris, by the way, since you're back there, if you can think of a specific channel that you have personally watched that you think do a really good job, please let me know who they are after I announce this one. So I recently clicked on this video and I started watching this. There's a girl who does it. I don't know how old she is. She's probably in the late 20s, early 30s. I don't know. But anyway, she covers her face. Don't know her name. Mm-hmm. But I started watching a couple of her videos, and it's pretty raw. Like they don't really edit. They show the whole experience so that you can see the whole conversation and everything. And then you also get to see the sheets that she brings that show the context of the text messaging back and forth so that they have the evidence to confront them with. And a lot of times there's pictures exchanged back and forth and all this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Anyway, this girl is called Protect the Innocent on YouTube. And by the way, if you've got, I mean, you wouldn't watch these kind of videos with your kids anyway, but just if you're listening to this, there's a lot of language in a lot of these videos and stuff like that, just heads up. But it is absolutely, in my opinion, hopefully everybody else's, a phenomenal service that these people are doing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Incredible service, because what started this from happening is you would catfish somebody. Is that the right term?
Yes.
You would catch them in the act of what they were there to do, and you have the proof to back it up, and you would turn this evidence over to the police. And in many of these cases, they would do nothing. So these channels got bigger and bigger and bigger because the goal was, okay, if the cops don't do anything for this, I'm going to expose them so that the world can see this dirtball's face.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
I just have to just love that. So I'm watching all these videos, and the thing that goes through my head is how many of these people there are out there. And do you know where the most common meetup place is? Mm-mm. Walmart is one of the most common meetup places. Yeah.
I wonder why.
Video after video after video. So there's all these places too. There's outside of stores, CVS, right? Like wherever. Yeah. But Walmart seems to be these places. And you know what else? Weird. Do you remember, like, what, Chris?
Usually the catchers set that up.
The meeting place?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So a safer place.
Okay, so but it still made me start thinking, like, I do pranks in Walmart.
Yeah.
We're talking 1,000 videos. I can't help but think this way. 1,000 videos and multiple reactions in every single video. And now that I know that this is not a rarity and that the world is crawling with these slimy individuals, how many of the people that you bump into on a daily basis at Walmart, how many workers, how many, you just don't know. You don't know who's around you, so you got to be really, really careful. Yeah. And now I'm thinking about, my kids and everything like that. And I mean, you're an adult now, but I'm thinking about Jasmine and stuff. It's just blowing my mind how many of these people are out there. And I'm telling you, some of these YouTube channels, they have captured 300, 400 people, and they're on their, they do like every video is a new person, and you're like, and they stay in one town. A lot of them stay in one town. So you're like, because that's where they live. Yeah. So they'll travel a little bit or whatever. But a lot of times you're like, they've done it a couple hundred times and they've caught this many predators in their own town.
Wow.
So it kind of wakes you up and makes you realize how many people there are out there when you think of, like, there's people who come here from overseas. A guy that I saw yesterday said he was from El Salvador. And, you know, he was communicating with who he, you know, was explaining to him was a 12-year-old girl. And it just makes me so sick to think that all of these people are out there, but also so happy that people are out there exposing these.
Yeah, definitely
these
need to be
guys so
exposed. It also sucks because it's so easy for them, for
Mm-hmm.
people like that,
Mm-hmm.
because of social media. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. It's also easier to expose them though too
which is good. Yeah,
on social
Definitely.
media. Horrible.
but ugh.
Yeah, Protect the Innocent is one of the channels. Another one is, this is kind of a new channel, I think. They only have about 30 something subscribers. Metro Detroit Predator Patrol. But I mentioned them because even though they have a small amount, like there's people who've been doing this for years and they have like over 1 million subscribers or whatever, and then there's some who are just starting out and they're doing it, and they're just like okie rigging it. They're just like figuring it out.
If
And
we
going,
could
okay,
get
let's
people
plan it.
like
Let's
this
do
in
it.
every city in America to just be like exposing them
Oh,
out like
I
one by
know.
one.
I know the cops will, in a lot of cases, work with these people.
Really?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So sometimes they'll reach out and go, hey, could we, do this? And it all started on this Dateline thing with Chris Hansen. Remember that show?
Yeah.
To catch a predator.
Yep.
Once, I remember watching that show years ago and going, somebody else. These people are like insurance salesmen, grandfathers. I mean, just like of all walks of life, you would never have any idea. Politicians. I mean, and they catch these people.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess we shouldn't dwell on it, but I'm telling you, it absolutely drives me nuts at the fact that there are so many of these people out there. So watch out, everybody. Be very, very careful. And if you want to start a YouTube channel and pull this off and start doing it full time, you have my full support.
Yeah, go for it, please.
Just be very, very safe. That I think about that all the time because they confront these people, and I just wonder like what is it? Oh, so this chick, Protect the Innocent. She goes, she gets so pissed off at these people in a public place. She does not care who's around. Inside a store, she will say, "There's only one way to handle this, and we're gonna walk out of the store. I'm gonna walk with you, and as we walk out of the store, I want you to start stopping people and tell them why you're here and what you were here to do." So there's shoppers, employees of the store, and she'll go, "Stop, tell this lady." And you'll literally listen to this guy do it because he has to, because he's afraid that if he doesn't, she's going to call the cops. Well, she's going to call the cops anyway. She's going to do what she could do to take this as far as she can take it.
Right. But
and then if they don't do it, she'll follow them out of the store, and she will, at the top of her voice, she'll shout it out so that the entire store can hear what this guy's a 49-year-old guy, and he came here to meet a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, and you get people just, you can't believe it. It's it's unbelievable. Anyways. Justin Payne?
Yeah, he's one of the originals. He started like 8 years ago on YouTube doing it.
Oh, Justin Payne. That's right. I remember the name. You showed me his videos before. Is he still doing it?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how many he's up to?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Colorado Ped Patrol.
Colorado Ped Patrol.
They've caught like 300 in a couple years.
300 in a couple years, Maddie.
wow.
That's like one every 2 days for the last 2 years. Think about that. I can tell Maddie does not like this conversation.
It's just,
It is. I know it sucks.
yeah.
Because you want to be one of these people to say the world is filled with good people.
Because it is.
No, nobody's good.
Well,
That's true. Well, we can't be good without God. That's what his point is.
yeah, but like,
We're sanctified, saved, filled with the Holy Ghost, right? But we're not good people.
We all fall short of God.
Yeah, it's true. However, I feel like some fall shorter of God than others. That's probably totally a biblically inaccurate thing for me to say. But when you're out looking at people like this, I don't know. It's a whole other conversation to have, I guess. But it does make you think, man. I mean, because there's people out there who are just out to just do some awful, awful things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways. Okay.
Okay.
I can read you. I know. It's time to move on. Are you on Twitter at all?
No, I deleted Twitter a long time ago.
A long time ago? You just don't like it, or what?
I don't use it. It also, I try to keep like, I try to keep my social media apps to like a minimum. Like I use Instagram, I use TikTok.
Yeah.
And I go on Facebook to post my reels. And then I don't, that's it. I'm not gonna, it takes up all my time.
Chris, why don't you like TikTok? I mean Twitter, sorry.
They don't filter anything.
Twitter?
Yeah, there's actually explicit stuff on there, and you just don't want to see that because it just sometimes will pop up.
Oh.
I got it. I did not know that, but I will.
Like straight up.
No kidding. Okay, so all right, so Twitter.
Filters. Like Instagram doesn't filter everything, but like they seriously.
Yeah, Twitter doesn't filter anything at all.
Well, Twitter. Go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say
people?
Twitter is in it. Twitter is a big topic in the news because Elon bought it, and
Oh, he did? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that went through.
Elon, it did go through. It did. People didn't know for a while.
Why is that amazing though? Because listen,
he's finally making a fair playing field for everybody.
Except
fact checking Joe Biden. They were never fact checked.
Elon Musk is a crazy billionaire.
Oh no, I'm with you on that. Yeah, yeah, you got me there. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like this, right? You know how you have always said, wipe the smirk off. You know how you have always told me, it doesn't matter, Democrat, Republican, the whole system is crooked.
Yes.
They're all just a bunch of crooked business people, politicians.
Yes.
Okay. However, it still matters how somebody votes because that's all about policy. So somebody might be a bad guy. But if their policies, if what they're pushing through that's going to affect my everyday life is what is in line with what I believe and what I want to see happen, that's what you're voting for. You're not voting for the man. So I agree with you. I think everybody's crooked. I get it. I mean, I'm sure that there's a few good guys out there, but for the most part, I think as a generalization, I think that it's all crooked.
For sure, yeah. And also your vote doesn't do anything.
Well, no, you got to go out and vote. Don't listen to her. You got to go out and vote. Listen, by the time you listen to this, it's going to be almost a week since the midterms. Currently, we do not know what the results of the midterms are going to be. They're tomorrow. But by this time, you are going to know. And next week, you'll hear us talking about the news. But it's true. And so I think about Elon being this billionaire, guy's like the richest man in the world right now or whatever. But the thing is, the one thing that I think is a good thing is if this actually works out this way and if he does what he says he's going to do, is allowing people to be able to speak freely and express the way that they feel about things.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. No, you're right.
Because one person owning an entire business like that who already has so much money, you can only believe I can't even think about the ego he probably has. And as being one person in charge of all of that, of course, any human, they're going to be selfish in the way that they are going to want what they want. And even if he says oh, everyone gets to say whatever they want now, I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it.
He is one of the most epic trolls on Twitter so far, and it's only been a few days. But the stuff that he's tweeting at people, he's sarcastic. I mean, it is hilarious to watch and see what he's up to because he is making so many people upset. In fact, I have to tell you about this one tweet. Okay. So here's it. Okay. Here's this lady named Emily, this girl named Emily.
Okay.
She tweeted, and of course I had to respond. I'll tell you what my response was.
Okay.
She said, if Elon Musk takes over Twitter and brings Donald Trump back, I will be leaving this country. I got my passport last week when I heard he might buy Twitter. Instead, I'll be moving to all caps, a civilized country, the gorgeous Canada. So long, America. You've just lost a citizen. Bye.
That's really funny. It just reminds me of when people like comment on your stuff and they're like, really? You just farted on this guy, lost a subscriber. See ya. Have a good. And you're like, okay. See ya.
Right. As if Elon's going to be like, dang it.
Man, Emily, no.
We missed. Emily, come back. Don't go to Canada. Say it isn't so. So I responded to Emily. I said, so Trump getting back on Twitter is what's going to do it for you, huh? I wouldn't blame you for leaving at the moment, but I would think it would be due to Biden's policy sending us all to hell in a handbasket. But not for you. Nope. It's Trump being reinstated to Twitter. And the reason I said that is because everybody knows that the country's in a really, really sad state of affairs right now. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. If we're all being honest with each other, the world has, I don't know when things have looked so grim. Certainly not in my lifetime. I mean, this is the worst state of affairs that we're experiencing right now under this administration. Call him mean and awful and egotistical and whatever you want to say, and I might agree. But that's not the point. The point is that we went from a great, magnificent, wonderful economy where the world was, America was thriving, to where we are now. And the truth is that during that 4 years, you cannot argue with the fact that it was the most phenomenal thing that we have experienced maybe ever in this country. The past 2 years, I know I'm getting political. I'll stop in a second, I promise. The past 2 years have been the worst. So that's just the way that it is. And
I wouldn't say the worst.
I would say the worst since what, the Great Depression? I mean, how far back? We could maybe go back to a certain point and go, it's been worse. But I'm just saying, certainly in my lifetime.
I see.
You know, and I know this because you want to know why? Mm-hmm. Because I talk to people. And this is the general consensus among everybody.
Yeah,
so
but
we will
who
see
are you
if
talking to, right? You're talking to like-minded people who have the same views as you.
Well, yeah, but the economy is affecting everybody the exact same way.
Right. But it's just, you know,
so
at
people,
least like,
so people know.
Okay.
Well, you could listen, you could like the current president. That's fine. Everybody's entitled to, I think you should be able to if you want to. But you can't argue with the fact that things are pretty rough right now. And you can't argue with things like the pipeline. And I mean, there's a lot of things that you could look at and go, these are the decisions made. And so therefore we are reaping exactly what has been sowed.
Right.
That's just the way that it is.
Yeah. Also, I don't think I've met anybody who does like him. Yeah.
Yeah. People are very upset.
Yeah.
They're very disappointed and but it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. This thing is happening tomorrow. I know that sometimes on this podcast, I give away how I feel about things. That's fine. I don't care. But it is, I can't wait to see what's going to happen with Twitter because it's kind of fun. It's fun for me because I agree with you on the stuff about Elon and everybody. But I also think that if he's going to turn this into a platform that's going to be a little bit freer, where you don't have to worry so much about certain things, I think that's going to be a good thing because we really have, this is the thing, over the last 50 years, we have gradually changed. Gradually. It's all been gradual. It's always been up slowly, a little bit here, a little bit there. You just on this little sliding slope, right? Because that's how change works. But over the past 5 years, it has changed so drastically that there's no time you can't even think. You can't even catch up. You're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And I think that's part of the problem because it's one thing to insist that you can't say something that everybody unanimously says is the worst possible thing that you could say. You can't do this because it's going to incite some horrific things, okay? It's another to say, but you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't say this, you can't say that. And pretty soon people are like, I don't know what I can and can't do. I don't know what I can't say. An example would be like in the medical profession, right? you can speak positively of the medicine that the CDC recommends, or the, whatever. You could speak positively of it, but if you badmouth it, you're going to get a warning that's going to say, "Oh, better do a fact check. Better make sure." Why is that? in throughout history, in every one of those commercials, every single commercial has that long, stupid list of all the side effects:
diarrhea, vomiting, suicidal thoughts.
Yeah,
it just goes on.
Yeah, it goes on, and it never stops.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I would like to see that stop, because don't you think that
What stop?
I would like to see people being censored and silenced stop. I would like to see that stop. I'll tell you why. When I upload videos to YouTube and I look at the comments and I see how upset somebody is at something in my video, it is interesting to me that other people who do not feel that way come to my defense.
Yeah.
They step in and they say, "Wait a minute, if you don't like it, don't watch," or if you don't, whatever.
Right, yeah.
And then they go back and forth and they have a conversation about it. Sometimes the conversations get heated. That's okay. That's part of having a conversation, is sometimes that's what happens. Mm-hmm. But it's weird to think that there are platforms that you can't do that on. You can't have a conversation because most of the world feels a certain way about something. And if you don't agree, kick to the curb.
Yeah. Well, it also doesn't make any sense, because if you're so adamant on this is the truth and this isn't, why are you worried that someone's going to be thinking something that's not your truth? If you're so well, they're wrong, mm-hmm. then okay, then they're wrong. I don't really understand, you know what I mean? Why are you so worried someone else is going to believe them if they're incorrect?
Yeah, and whose job why is it anybody's job to make sure
that they don't think that way?
Yeah.
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 I agree.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's obviously, a bigger conversation to have, but we're not going to do that today. And probably never, because you probably wouldn't even want to have that conversation. A whole hour about it or something. Elon, though, the thing that still remains unchanged is the fact that Elon's car has a fart feature. You ever heard it?
Yes.
It's incredible. It's incredible. The Tesla, what that thing does is incredible. So I gotta
get a Tesla.
Gotta go with my man.
Oh my gosh.
He's got the fart feature.
No, only I would like a Tesla.
Huh?
Charge my car instead of buying gas.
Wait a second.
Oh.
You want an electric car?
Mistake.
Is that what you're telling me? You want an electric car?
Or a hybrid. I'd get a hybrid probably for my next car.
I got an electric vehicle recently.
What? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's in the garage.
Oh, your golf cart?
It's actually not a golf. It is a golf cart, but it's called an electric. It's called an ESV, electric slow vehicle, slow speed vehicle. ESV, that's what it's called.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
Electric slow speed vehicle. So most golf carts go up to 14, 15 miles an hour. Mine goes up to 25, and you can take it on the road.
Okay.
And charge it and whatever.
Yeah.
And it lasts for a long time and everything.
That's fun.
It is fun. It's a blast. Have you ridden a significant amount of time on my golf cart?
Not once.
You haven't even gone on a ride?
Last time I was in a vehicle like that, I got 2 concussions.
Oh, that's right.
But I'd do it again.
But it wasn't a golf cart, though, was it?
It was
that more of an off-road
like
thing?
an ATV type
But you would do it again?
thing. Yeah.
So you had a good time?
Yeah. Even though I almost died in a river upside down.
Wow. That's terrible. That would have been really, really awful.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, someday I might get a Tesla. I don't know. We'll see. Just only for the fart feature. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
If I could put the fart feature on the golf cart, we'd be set. I'd be very happy. And I'm sure it's possible.
Probably.
Because there's a lot of things I can do
That's
to customize it.
Oh, okay.
What?
I thought you were just saying that like there's a lot of things I can do, like just in general in life.
I'm a very smart guy.
Yeah.
You'd be really surprised.
Powerful person.
That's a thing Trump would say.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like,
let me tell you something. There's nobody better than me, okay? There's nobody better than me. I'm the best fart guy in the world of fart guys, okay?
yeah.
Okay, thank you for listening. I know that today was a little bit short, but that's okay. We'll see you next week. And I'm excited. We're going to have a lot to talk about because the election is tomorrow. It's going to be all politics next week.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
great.
It won't. But we are going to have to talk about it a little bit because it'll be the follow-up to today. It's
Okay.
big deal. And we'll talk about a few things. Anyway, the Jack Vale Show is on YouTube and Facebook. Go ahead.
I was just going to say with Madysyn.
Yeah, it is on YouTube and Facebook and Spotify and everywhere you listen to your podcast. So be sure to listen and everything like that. And also, heck, you could follow Madysyn on social media, and you should do that.
Madysyn.
You know what Jerry told me the other day?
What?
He said, I have to tell you, your podcast is great and all, but you need to let Maddie talk more. Because really the show is more about her than it is you. Okay, that's what people are going to want to listen to her more.
That's so funny. Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah, appreciate that, Jerry. So we'll see you next time, and thank you for listening and watching. We'll see you soon.
See ya.
Bye.